Hey, everyone. It is time. Let me see. So give me one moment. Matter of fact, I'm going to give us all 30 seconds to share. And as you're coming in, go ahead and let me know you're here because, like Facebook likes to play with my technology. So I want to make sure that we are all watching. So as you come in, let me know that you're here. Let me take a time just to make sure that I am live. Let's see. And you can hear me. So as you come in, let me know that you can hear me. Oh, I hear myself. So, all right. So let me go ahead and share. Let me give you guys 30 seconds and then go ahead, share. Y'all, 30 seconds go by quick. All right. So I think that I shared. Let me make sure. Y'all, and if you cannot see me on Facebook, all you have to do is go to my YouTube channel, y'all, because we are also live on YouTube, like out here trying to do it big, okay? So we are live on YouTube, live on my page. You know what? Facebook did this last time. I tried to share and it did not let me share. So let's try this again. But in the meantime, while I'm struggling to get my stuff to share like I asked it to do, I am going to, okay, so I see y'all can see me. I'm going to go ahead. For the people who don't know, I am Theresa M. Okay, so Theresa, not Teresa, but Theresa. I like for people to get my name correctly, right? Because it's a big deal. My dad took the time to name me, right? So what I am a mindset management coach, business advisor, and a keynote speaker, a motivational storyteller. And I created Behind the Highlight Reels because too many times we go through life handling things on our own and not sharing what happens behind the beautiful posts that we put up on social media. Like if we take the time to see everybody's beautiful highlight reels, we miss out on the important lessons that happen behind them. So this show is literally about what happens behind those beautiful social media posts, behind all the phenomenal events that that takes place. This show is about that. And if you know me, you know I'm 1,000% transparent and 1,000% real. So you're going to get it all, right? Today, I am super excited. Y'all know I can barely do two things at once sometimes. Okay, let's try. All right, so hopefully it's shared. So if you're coming in, go ahead and share. Tell your people, invite them and all that good stuff. But today, y'all, I have this, first of all, the first man on my show. Didn't even realize that, but I've been having all these phenomenal women on my show, and I hadn't even had any man. I'm just done with Facebook. Any man on my show. And this time, I have a man on the show, so he could speak to you guys today, and women. So he's going to be speaking to us today about our Black youth and how to talk to them, especially at times like this. Like so much is going on with the Black culture, with our Black people, and with our just even our young people, period. They're growing up at a time where we got COVID going on, so they sitting at the house all day. This is unusual, not just for us, but for our children who are used to playing and going out and doing things. This junk is unusual. So he's going to talk to us about how he got involved with the youth and how he is actually making big moves with our youth, okay? So one more time, let me try to share my post one more good time. Facebook, don't play with me now. Y'all see? So let me know. Tell me if y'all are able to share, if you see everything okay. Put a little comment, little heart. Let me know that y'all good in the streets over here. Okay. Join me now. It says it's posted. Let me see if it's posted. All right. In the meantime, y'all see it. So also, hey, for you guys, the replay viewers. Okay, it allowed me to share. Okay, Crystal, that's all I need to see is one person was able to share. We in there, okay? So everybody else, share, like, post, invite your friends and all this stuff. And then let me tell y'all about who we got today. Okay, so Brandon McLean, he is a major advocate. Y'all know I got my little bio already, okay? He's the major advocate for the youth. He feels this way because he's always been fighting for the underdogs, and he wants to help those who have been overlooked, especially in the youth generation. And if you know me, that's right in line with what I do over here. Like, we out here trying to speak for the people who scared to speak up, okay? Or who can't speak up. He is a leader and the visionary of Teach Me to Tie movement. All right. So his vision for the movement is to help instill in the next generation, specifically our young men, essential life lessons. Now, y'all know that's very important for our young men today. Like, we trying to raise up somebody else's husbands, right? So, okay, let's get it together. All right, so he believes in generational teaching and leaving an imprint on the history books. Yes, for being in the history books, okay? That's what the movement is all about. He is from, y'all never heard of this city, so he's going to tell us more about it. Wagram, North Carolina, and a proud Scotland County native. Look at me trying to read naive, okay? Native, okay? I can read. Don't try to come for me, okay? So he is a husband to the amazing and wonderful Crystal. If y'all seen, what was it? The episode, 2 episodes back, the financial episode with Crystal, and we did her amazing book premiere. So y'all know, y'all seen the name before. This is her husband. This is a power couple at its finest, a Jesus divine couple, okay? He is a youth pastor. He is a father to the beautiful Princess Harmony. And he always states wait a minute. He says his church is the greatest church with the greatest youth ever. All right. At Chosen Remnant Ministries, where the Honorable Pastor Lorna Taylor, I don't want to mess up her name. Sorry, Pastor. Sorry if I mess it up. Oversees and shepherds him. All right. So none other than Brandon McLean. Let me go ahead and bring him in.
Yes, what's going on? What's going on? Let me just do one thing. Let me go ahead and pop my collar since you said I'm the first man on your program.
Yes.
I am very, very blessed to be on here. How you doing today, Teresa?
I am good. So I'm super, super, super excited because I didn't even realize that until I was like, wait, I have never said like he on my show as in a guest yet. So congratulations for being the first man, first season. Listen, and the 7th episode, and everybody knows 7th is my favorite divine number. Okay, so nothing but special things today. Okay, Brandon. So I know that I read all these phenomenal accolades and this beautiful biography about who you are, but tell us behind those highlight reels, who is Brandon? Like, who are you?
I mean, of course, like you said, my name is Brandon McLean, and I'm actually the visionary of the Teach Me to Tie movement. And so I'm gonna get on that in a little bit, but I'm also one half of the youth pastors, as you stated before, of the greatest church ever, Chosen Remnant Ministries, where, you know, I have been blessed to, like I said before, one half, and I wouldn't be able to do it without my better half, my queen, my friend. Can I keep it going? My loved one. Can I keep it going? My queen, Crystal, like I love her to death, and we are a team, and we have an amazing team that helps support us when it comes to our youth at Chosen Remnant Ministries, and we're under an amazing shepherd. Like, she has, I could be on this thing all day talking about her, but my pastor, Pastor Lorna Taylor, she actually helped basically raise me into this.
Mm-hmm.
So that, with that being said, I'm one half of that. I'm also coming from the big old town of Wagram, North Carolina. I see you try to butcher it, but it's okay.
Where is this town? I need to know. So I go over
honestly speaking, you wouldn't even know you were in it, because the moment you're in it, you're out of it. I'm a country boy. I'm just being real. I'm a country boy, and Wagram is straight country. So I rep Wagram / Laurinburg. I'm a Scotland County native, Sand Hill native. That's my area, and just coming from there actually brought a lot of things that actually helped with the Teach Me to Tie movement.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like I say, I'm a father of my beautiful princess Harmony. She gets on my nerves all the time, but I love her to death. She actually just had a birthday on Wednesday.
Yes.
Yeah, so she's going on 95 now, but it's okay. um,
Listen, Harmony is over there learning lessons that we as adults are just learning, and she's already learning. You guys are doing an amazing job, you and Crystal, with Harmony. I'm super, super, super excited for like just seeing some of her episodes and the videos that y'all have for her. So like we out here learning from her, we learning from Crystal, and we learning from you. All
we
right.
appreciate that. We appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. So let me ask you, did you have, because now we know that you are focused on the youth and the underdog, and even helping those that can't speak for themselves or don't have the voice to speak for themselves. Have this always been you? Like, what started that?
So yeah, so I'm actually a PK, a preacher's kid.
Oh.
So a little bit about me. My father, he's a preacher, and so just dealing with that aspect. Of course, I was always raised in the church, and with that being said, there was always back and forth with the youth, because my mom, I love my mom to death as well. And like we always had a youth, a big youth presence in my old church, Oak Hill Missionary Baptist Church. Shout out to y'all. I mean, love y'all to death. So I gotta give y'all kudos too. But we've always had a big youth presence. So a lot of people were, coming to us and saying, we like y'all, we like because I've been on the church, the choir, usher boy, everything. So anything that's within the church, I've actually functioned in. So, and just to actually see us as youth doing that thing, doing those type things was always ingrained into me. One simple aspect, I always felt that I had to speak on behalf, or was an advocate for, the young men in the church too. One thing that we've done, I can remember clear as day when I was 13 years old. We had our Sunday school, our Sunday school lessons, and so we had to come up and we had to say our scriptures every Sunday, whatever. Yeah, you remember, right? So we had that situation there, and what I actually did was, God actually laid it on my heart. He said, okay, well, I need you to get with all the young guys in the church and to go over the Beatitudes. So one person will say the first Beatitude, the second person will say the second. So ever since then, it's, so we all stood up and we said our full Beatitudes that full week. I was helping everyone. Hey, do you have your Beatitudes? You learn it. How can I help you? So even at that young age, it's been ingrained in me ever since, just to always advocate for the youth.
That's real good, because I remember growing up, like you said, we be in church all day doing everything. And as I wasn't a preacher's child, but my whole family was the church. Like my grandma was the mother, my pawpaw was the deacon. My mama was a teacher, so we was there for the choir rehearsals. We was on the usher board, the youth board, anything that we could be in, we was in, whether we liked it or not.
Right.
It's so funny that you mentioned that, because so many times I hear this from so many people, that when they feel like they're forced to go to church, they either have one or two ways. They absolutely love it because their church has a phenomenal youth program, or they absolutely hate it because they feel like there's nothing to do and they just sitting there with the old people. So I absolutely love churches that take the time to develop their youth and not treat us as if we are just, just here, just go down somewhere. It's so important to our relationship. So I'm glad that you mentioned that you even took the time as a child to do that, to make sure that y'all were handling business and still having fun. So you kind of already answered my next question about the importance of your Christian faith, but how did that faith lead you to be a leader, not just within church, but even outside of church?
Well, honestly speaking, to be real with you, and like you said, because you said it before, just being this show is about being transparent. I'm be real with you. I didn't want it. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, my pops was he is a preacher, and which I actually kind of shied away from because everybody was like, okay, you a preacher's kid, and you really couldn't. So I really didn't find my way because I was trying to do so many other things because I was trying to rebel, be like, okay, well, I don't want to be like my dad, or I don't want to do exactly what he's doing. But in a sense, God was always on my life, and he called me for this. So I ran initially, but God finally put me in a place where, okay, well, sit down. You in a place where you can learn and you can know my voice and things of that nature. So God has always been impactful, even when I tried to like run from him. I was pulling a Jonah move on him, and even then he still had to wrap me up. He kept me in some form of protection. Yeah, I went out there, I made mistakes and did things that I wasn't supposed to do, but he always kept me here. So always thinking back of my past and of the things that he kept me from has drew me to even more towards him in that aspect. So God has been a major influence on my life, and I can see that within the things that myself and my wife and our team at the church is actually doing within the church and within on the outside of the walls as well. So God has been very, very influential, and without him, honestly, I would not be here. And people say that as a cliche, but honest to God, I would not be here without his presence and his leadership.
I'm so glad that you were so transparent because just like you, I had my moments where I was like, Lord, to be in the church is not fun. I'm trying to have fun out here in these streets in college. Let me tell you, I went to an HBCU. I went to the greatest HBCU of all time, North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. Okay. Yes. Okay. And crying all day. And we have the greatest homecoming on earth. So me, as my Christian self, with the Lord, was at the homecoming, it's like, Lord, forgive us for the sins that we are about. Keep us safe in my drunken foolishness, Lord. Don't let us crash. I'm out here. I mean, literally, I think about it like the audacity of me to ask God to forgive me for what I'm about to do, because I know I'm about to be out here sinning and acting a darn fool.
That's it. But
he has kept us. When I tell you, I'll be here the whole hour and beyond, just giving stories of where he has kept us. And even when we try to run, I'm still running sometimes from God.
See, you just spoke a word, because honestly speaking, that's the same thing, and that's why I believe that God actually called myself and my wife to actually be the youth pastors. He, like I said before, when I was talking about my pastor, she saw things in me that I've never saw in myself. And so God allowed me to be under her leadership. And like you said, sometimes I still run sometimes, because it's just like, okay, well, God, am I really supposed to be here? Am I really supposed to do this? Well, God, I just really want to just chill. I really want to do this, but it's a higher calling on all of our lives. So, and it's just for us to actually do it. And like you said, and for me, coming from where I come from, I'm a Sand Hills native. Everybody from Wagham knows where that is. From Laurinburg, Scotland County, I'm a Sand Hills native. So yeah, we country boys, but we get down when we have to get down. That's just what we do. So doing some of the things that we did and some of the things that I've been through, is just like, all right, well, I know for a simple fact, I would not be here, and I wouldn't be here, and I can tell the youth, and that's what and that's why I like talking to the youth, because it's like, all right, well, look, buddy, and that's how I talk to them. I don't try to come up to them. Yeah, this is cool. I like wearing this from time to time, but you catch me in a fitted cap, a t-shirt, that, and I can relate to them. Because I can see I've been through this. I've been through shootouts. Yeah, I've been through X, Y, Z, and I'm still here because of God's grace. So and they know it's just me being real. I don't sugarcoat nothing with them. I like playing around, talking, joking around. Like for instance, we have one of the youth in the church. His name is Tavi. I'm gonna shout him out. That's my boy. I love them to death. I mean, we were just wrestling the other day, and just us being us because we have that rapport. And he knows just how real we are. So that's why I love just the youth, because they're the realest ones out of anybody.
Yeah.
They will tell you, all right, well, look, what you just said, it don't make sense, it don't add up, and they'll call you out quick, fast, and in a hurry. But that's the challenge that I love. So
I think it's so important, and this is one of the things that I'm still like with the Lord have to. I guess sometimes I'm too transparent or too honest, too blunt. The Lord is still working on me, but I think it's so important with our youth to be transparent, because I remember growing up. And no shade to my family, because they did what they knew was best and what they thought was best. But I remember growing up not knowing anything
right.
about what was going on. They sheltered me. And even in certain things, I had no idea about, like spiritual warfare. And that's my biggest thing of
Yes.
my running. I'm like, Lord, nobody feel like doing spiritual warfare all the time. But like, I never knew what that was, but my family was going through it. My grandma would be fasting, and she would always tell us, but they never took the time to like explain what it was. I just was like, here, grandma go not eating again.
Yep.
I didn't understand. And as I got older, she did share more stuff with me. I guess I was more mature in Christ, so I could hear it and it made sense. But I think it's still important for the transparency in our youth, because so many times the church strays away from certain topics. And what that does is it leads our youth to learn that information from the streets or learn that information from the world, and they're not getting it from us first. So we can't mold them into the truth, because as science shows, people believe the truth as their first encounter of it is the truth.
Exactly.
And so if we're not that first encounter, it's so hard to bring them back in. But we know God, he'll do whatever he needs to do to get them back in, but it's just unnecessary.
Exactly.
So I'm so glad that you're transparent. It's so important, guys. If you have youth, be transparent. Like, be transparent. We ain't trying to say tell them everything.
Exactly.
Be transparent as appropriate.
Right.
Like, Lord, I ain't gonna get into that, but yeah, don't tell me everything. All right. So now you mentioned Teach Me to Tie. What is this? Like, what are you tying? Like, what is going on? Tell us about Teach Me to Tie.
All right. So yes, Teach Me to Tie is a local organization, a local movement that, of course, God, he bestowed it. I'm gonna use the big word, or the church word. He bestowed it upon me. But now he actually gave it to me when I was actually in prayer, and because I noticed within the community, our community, my community here, and especially, of course, I'm gonna keep it real, the Black community too. One of the young guys approached me. He was a young man, a youngin, and he was like, "Yo, I don't know how to tie a tie." I'm just like, "What? Okay, you don't know how to tie a tie? Okay." I really didn't think nothing of it. And then me and my wife and my daughter, we was actually coming home. We was on a trip. We went to a family trip down to Wilmington, and we was actually on our way back. And the thing was just still ringing in my ear. I was just like, "Yo, he told me he didn't know how to tie a tie," and it perplexed me. It plagued me. I was like, that can't be right, because my father and my grandfather, they actually taught me a lot of different pertinent information, life lessons that I still to this day is that I know because of them. Which I got to shout out Reverend James McLean. I love you. That's my pops, and and the late my granddaddy Lewis McDonald. I love you as well. Those two, and of course all my uncles and them as well, Uncle James and them. They actually taught me a lot of things, how to become be a man, including tying a tie, something as simple as that. And when he said he didn't know how to tie a tie, I was like, okay, well, I didn't think nothing of it until I was on my way back, and me and my wife was actually talking, and I was angry. I was like, yo, like, my father taught me how to tie a tie. He don't know how to tie a tie. And then she hit me. She was like, well, you got to realize, a lot of the young Black men and Black boys in the community, they don't have a male figure in their life to teach them in that aspect. And that's when it was a sucker punch. It punched me right in my gut. And I was like, oh, wow, that is true. And then she was like, so, and this is why I love my wife, because my wife, she talks all the time, and there's no shade I love, like, my wife is the talker. I'm the one that's in the background, and if I have to hit you, I hit you, and I don't think nothing of it. But she's the one that'll go in. So that's what makes us compatible. But she hit me. She was like, "So what you gonna do about it?" I was like, "Oh, okay." So that's when Teach Me to Tie actually formed on our way home from Wilmington, and so it's an organization that actually teach our young men, or especially our young Black men or Black boys within the community, a lot of pertinent information, life-changing generational information. And that's the thing about me, myself, and that's what this movement is about, is to actually each one teach one. So we're going to teach you something, so it's a generational thing, so you'll be able to teach your sons how to do this, so that way they'll be able to teach their sons, so it can be so it can keep going. So the first thing that we actually the first event that we actually had was here in Fayetteville, and we actually did what the name said, Teach Me to Tie. I asked some important men that I know to actually speak, including myself, to the young men that came out, and we actually sat there and we taught them how to tie a bow tie, or excuse me, a tie. And now they can say, okay, well, even if they don't remember my name, if they don't remember who, the man who actually taught them how to tie a tie, they still walked away with the tie, and they also walked away with the lesson on how to do it, which was, amazing. And to see all the young guys tying ties and having all of the men speaking to them was, words could not express how I felt, and the community actually felt as well, just to have that happen.
I'm excited about what you're doing with the Teach Me to Tie, because even as you was talking, all I could think about is, like, you're even teaching them how to tie these lessons that their fathers and everybody else's fathers, how to tie them together to create this phenomenal gentleman. And then they will learn and teach their kids. So it's very important, because at some point we don't really share, like, our culture. We stop telling those stories, right, and stop sharing those things, and we become, so stuck on the survival of what we're doing, and not really. I think it's so important, and I love that you even gave them ties, because what's the point of you gonna teach us how to tie a tie? We ain't got no tie, so we out here tying ropes and stuff. So I think that is phenomenal, because I know I'm not a man or whatever, but I remember in my college days, I was like, oh, I'm about to start wearing bow ties and stuff. Like, I'm about to just make this my fashion. And my first time learning how to tie it, I was excited. So I can imagine how excited these men were. And I know you talk about how important it is, because, when you see an issue, not just complaining about it, but hey, what can I do to fix it? Right. Where, Lord, and even asking God, like, God, what is my position in this dilemma? What do you want me to do? Like, because sometimes, and I think it's important to share, sometimes it's not our it's not our position to be the leader. Sometimes we are positioned to connect with someone to build something, not do something on our own. Right. Sometimes it's our connection to help somebody build something that they're doing. Right. So I'm glad that you even mentioned that, you had your advice from your wife. You had some godly advice. So what you got to do about it, instead of just complaining. But you also took the time to, like, okay, God, what do you want now? Right. I think that is so important for that. So I'm glad you mentioned that. What other things do you guys do then? Like, now that we learn how to tie a tie, what other lessons, like, what are some of the great lessons that you guys are also giving out?
So we're actually giving out like mentoring things. Again, it deals with the young guys within the community, but it also deals with the men. I'm a big advocate for the men as well. So again, with that first session, we had men come out and speak. I had certain individuals come out and speak, but I also asked and advocated for men within the community. Some that I knew and I trust and I love, specifically those that were in my church. real strong black men. So it's showing the young guys, even if you don't have a father figure in your life, you still have a man that's present that you can come talk to, that we can mentor to. So those are type of the things that we actually have. So we build connections and we build bonds on that. Other things that we actually talked about as well as teaching them currently is your value and your self-worth, because we want them to know, hey, look, you know how the media likes to portray us. They like to portray us as bangers, thugs, and anything like that, hoodlums and anything like that. But that's not the case. You're not that. You are a young king, and that's one of the things that we actually had. It was a march that we actually held this year called the Young Kings March. It was just establishing and showing them, hey, I am a young king, and world, you're gonna treat me as such. I'm not gonna come beg. I'm not gonna come beg you for anything. I'm not gonna lower my values on anything. Nah, I'm a king, and you're gonna treat me as such. And that's when some of the things that we're actually teaching them, your self-worth, your self-value on that as well, and actually how to present that to everybody. It's not necessary to show or to try to say, okay, well, I'm trying to be out there and about, be brash or anything. Nah, it's just like, okay, well, I have a confidence within myself. And I am a young king and I know my worth. So it's just like for instance, like I'm just using this for an example, and no shade to like McDonald's or whatever, but if you know that you're worth a 5-course meal, why would I try to eat McDonald's? Why would you try to serve me McDonald's? Nah. You serve me my 5-course meal, and we're gonna keep it moving. And that's what I want. That's what myself and the Teach Me the Top movement want to let our young kings know, that's the mindset that you should have.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're teaching, and even something that you said, the difference of between arrogance and knowing your worth. I'm glad that you are teaching that, and just being transparent. I believe that kids always emulate what they see. So your transparency will allow them to be transparent within their community, and as they grow and they're teaching, and it doesn't even mean that they have their own kids, but they are connecting with other people. They are bringing other people into this whole lifestyle, and at the end of the day, God gets the glory. Exactly. Like at the end of the day, so everybody's seeing the love of Christ within the community, and you have taken it back to how it used to be growing up, like in my time, where like the village raised you,
raised the child,
the whole community. If you acting up, guess what? I know your grandma. You know what I'm saying? So I love the fact that you're taking it back to that, where you are having this accountability. And so how do you handle, because I know it's not only kids that don't have fathers that you work with. There are kids that do have fathers. How do you handle that? Like, have you ever had a father that felt some type of way, that like offended or something? Like, have you handled that, had to deal with that?
Well, no, I've never had. We have not encountered that as far as a father, because we've had fathers actually come up and say, "Hey, look, what can I do?" And they're a part of the Teach Me the Top movement, and they're a part because the first movement that we had them coming in. They were actually teaching their son as well as the other youth in the community as well how to actually teach to tie the tie. Also, along with the march, we had fathers and sons standing together in solidarity as well. So and I praise God and I thank God for that, because it shows that they are mentally stable, mentally strong to say, okay, look, I'm looking out for help. It's not, we're not trying to impose our will. We're not trying to say, okay, well, all fathers are bad, because no, we have Black men within this community who are great fathers, great leaders. Even if you don't have a son like myself, I don't have a natural born son as of yet, but he's coming. I'm praying to God, and I received the word. He's coming, so that way when he does come, he can just fall right in line. But until I'm still going to be showing, all right, the youth within the ministry, the youth in the community, I'm gonna treat you just like my son in regards to that. And I've been tasked to actually have that. So we have not had run into any issues, and we thank God for that. And we're going to continue on with that as well.
So I think that's important for me to have even said that, because For anyone that may be watching a replay and that may be, feeling some type of way, I'm glad that you mentioned we're not trying to say that you're bad. Sometimes, you just need some help. Sometimes
Exactly.
you just need a connection, because even having a community of people who are like-minded, who got your back. Hey, I'm at work, I can't pick up my son, I need you to go do this. Hey,
Right.
I can't go to my son's ball game, but I know if you guys go, it'll make him feel good. That's
Right.
important. So just for anybody that's watching a replay and that may be like feeling some type of way, like, oh, I don't know if I want to connect because I don't want them to judge me, or I don't want them to, try to tell me what. No, it's not even about that. It's literally about the community that our young Black men need to see, the unity within our community. And I
Right.
think it's so important. And I know that you guys are focused on Black men, but if there's something coming up that could be for our Black young females, because I'm all about the young females.
Yeah.
But if there, I'm also not in Fayetteville. But what's going on in Fayetteville? Like, is there something that you guys have in the future that may be coming up? And if not, so.
Yeah. No, yes, we actually have a lot of things in the wood. We actually have a lot of ideas that actually is coming to play. However, that doggone COVID, she hit. But again, look, I'm a lot of people will complain about COVID, and I mean, of course, I understand the impact of what COVID is. I don't want anybody to walk off here and they go, well, Brandon thinking, no. I truly understand the impact of it, and of the seriousness of it. So that's why, of course, you guys can please just follow the protocol. Just be smart, use wisdom. I mean, just want to throw that plug out there. Wear your mask. May not seem like something you don't want to, just do the right thing. But COVID is here for a reason. We know it's here for a reason. It was something, because if it wasn't, it wouldn't be here. God would wipe it away right now. But again, it's here for a reason. So God is allowing her to do her work. So in this time, we are actually thinking of doing different things for both the young men and as well as the young ladies within it. Because again, the young men are the young kings. So we do have to teach our young queens the same thing as well, the same mindset as well. I mean, you're a young queen, or you're a queen, and queens don't bow themselves down to filth. So some of the things that's on, like, the TVs and, the twerking and thing like that, like, you don't have to subjugate yourself. You don't have to be half naked on. And yeah, I'm saying, I mean, I'm just being real, being transparent. You don't have to be half naked to try to find someone to actually love you. And that's where a lot of people actually, especially, a lot of our young ladies have actually, fallen privy to and prey to. So we're coming up with some things in the works to teach them etiquette and things of that particular nature. But just waiting on, the word from God to come. And if we can do it, we're just waiting on him to say go. So.
Well, definitely let me know how I can even be of assistance. I'm trying, I'm doing so much over here, but I know that it's very important for us to talk to the female half. And I'm so glad that you mentioned that COVID is here for a reason. And I tell people all the time not to downplay COVID and the seriousness of it, but I prayed for COVID and never realized it. I remember asking God, like, God, I need you to just stop time for a minute. I have so much to do and I cannot catch up. I'm overwhelmed. God, I just need a break. I don't know how you're going to do it. It sounds crazy, but I need a break.
Yes.
And here it is, COVID. And I remember the first couple of weeks just playing around or whatever, like not doing anything. And I remember God telling me, you asked for this break. What are you going to do with it? And I was like, you know what, God, you're right. Because at the end of COVID, when the outside opened back up, I don't have time to be in the same position. Just me personally knowing what God has for me. So I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? What moves am I going to make? How am I going to pivot? And I ain't going to tell y'all everything, but y'all pay attention because y'all going to be seeing the rest of doing other things.
Yeah.
But it's back to the women. Let me know, because I love talking to young women about my own transparencies in what's happened in my life. A lot of times, as a female, we do grow up looking at what's on TV. And as you are handling the men, the counterpart of, hey, you also don't need to go after this. You
Mm-hmm.
know, as we all create a higher standard, some things will be changed. And I
Right.
think it's important to have that unity within our community with the female and the men to create a solid standards foundation
That's it.
to where things would start moving and changing. So let us know. So before we leave, because I told time is just flying by. We can talk all day. But before we leave, let us know, how do we get connected with you? How do people, anyone in Fayetteville, like, how do we get connected with the movement? How do we connect with you?
So yeah, so and you can actually connect with us. We actually have a Facebook page. It's called. You can add us at Teach Me to Tie Movement on Facebook. That's the Teach Me to Tie's official Facebook page, and we have a lot of information that's comes on there. We make announcements, so any up and coming events and things of that nature, you can message us on there as well. You can at the Teach Me to Tie movement there. You can also message me personally. I have my own personal Facebook. It's Brandon McLean. That's MCL, MC capital L. You put some respect on the capital L. MCLEAN. You can reach out to me as well. And that's ways that you can actually contact us. And also, the major thing that you can do is, of course, once we put the information out, just please share, like, support. That's the main thing that we actually is needed, because word is bond, and we're actually teaching our young people at our church now. We actually taught them on yesterday. Me and my wife taught them about the power of your words. So your word actually, from where I'm from, like I said, I'm a Sand Hills native. So where I'm from, your word is your bond. Like, so
Yeah.
word is bond. That's what we say. So once you say something, I mean, it is what it is. So if you can share wherever, just support. And also, I mean, and again, this is not us begging or anything, because again, we're kings. So whatever is done in heaven is going to be done here on earth if we speak that and we ask God of it. But if you can just support with of course, financial blessings as well. We can add us when it comes to, like, because again, things aren't cheap. I'm not gonna sit up here and lie to you. Ties, the material, and again, we do this. We give away things for free. We don't charge anyone. We haven't charged a youth yet or anything of that nature for a tie. With our Teach Me to Tie, with our Young Kings March we just had, we actually gave away shirts, because our idea and our goal is to give a whole ensemble. That's one of the visions, is to give certain pieces each time. So we gave shirts away, and so you can pair that with your tie. So and again, those things aren't cheap. We're not complaining at all. We're going to make do, because God, he has our back. He has us. But if you feel like you want to support, please do so, and we'll be more than happy and appreciative for that as well.
That's amazing. So if God lays it on your heart, throw the money on the side. Save the money. And even if you have some organization that wants to partner with Teach Me to Tie,
Right.
with the right mindset, because y'all know we got to vet everybody we work with now.
That's it. That's
If you got
it.
an organization that you want to partner with, you're doing something and you would love to help, hey,
Yes.
contact Brandon, y'all. Also, that's one thing. What about people outside of Fayetteville? Can they
Yeah.
also participate?
Of course. We've actually had people come from outside of Fayetteville from our last our Young Kings, which, and I don't mean to minimize, but Young Kings, that was a movement. That was something that God laid upon my heart, because of the things that are going on within this world now, which is very, very disheartening. And to see it still happen, and it hurt. It still hurts to this day. And I don't mean to minimize that at all, but that Young Kings March was very, very impactful. And what we did was we actually God laid that on my heart during prayer, because when actually the George Floyd incident happened, the George Floyd murder happened. I'm gonna just keep it real. I'm not gonna be politically correct. The murder actually happened, and God laid it in my heart in prayer, and I'm not gonna lie, I was scared. I was scared. I was shaking in my boots. So he said, I want you to lead a march. And anybody that knows me, like I said, I like to keep it low key. I like to stay in the background. I let my wife do all the talking. I'm the one in the background. But he said, "No, I want you to lead this." And he gave me all the tools to. I reached out to the Fayetteville Police Department, the city of Fayetteville, and the sheriff's office of Fayetteville, and we were gonna have to talk to the sheriff, me and the sheriff, about a recent incident that just happened too. But we everything fell online, and we actually marched dressed like this. We had all of our we had youth as young as 5 years old in shirts and ties marching from the Fayetteville Police Department to the courthouse. And it was, when I say amazing, to see all the amount of people that came. We had people coming from different areas, Raleigh, from Red Springs, just different around the area. So you don't necessarily have to be in Fayetteville to support at all. You can be in your home and you can support by sharing, by commenting, by liking statuses, and just getting the word out. But if you want to actually put your hands to you can definitely come. Of course, we want to make sure that we're using wisdom and following the guidelines, that's within this country to protect ourselves, because we're using wisdom. But yes, you can definitely come and support from wherever, in state, out of state. If you want to come out of state, fly on in. We'll be here to help you.
Okay. So y'all heard what he said. This is a movement. This is a movement. This is not just an event. And anybody that knows about movements, they start with a shift in the mindset.
Yeah.
Okay. For people who are watching the replay or watching now, if you know someone, I don't know why, but if you know someone who also maybe does clothing or owns their own clothing boutique, or what do you call the men's warehouse type of things where the suits and stuff, and you would like to donate to the movement, make sure you contact Brandon. I don't know why this was on my mind randomly, but contact Brandon so that you can be involved and donate some shirts. Y'all heard him say their vision is to have every man or every young child to have a suit so that they can teach themselves to tie, teach themselves, and be out here looking nice at different occasions. Yeah. And I love that you also said that, you may look regular on a regular day, but it's nice to have clothes to dress up when it's time to dress up, when it's time to look like something. It's nice to be able to have it, and so many people don't. So if you are ready to donate and you're like, let me partner up with Brandon, let me get him. I don't know how much you may need, Brandon, but you're going to have it. Let me get it for you. Contact Brandon here. And if you don't see for some reason, contact me and I'll link you up with him. Because we're going to get y'all some suits. We're going to get y'all some donations. The Lord said he will have men given to your bosom. So,
yes, he did. Oh, yes.
So, before we leave, is there anything else that you would like to let the world know? Tell us about before we let these good people get off their lunch breaks.
No, I mean, I just like to, of course, first and foremost, give honor to God and say, of course, God, thank you. I appreciate him for just allowing me to be in this position. I'd like to thank you, of course, for allowing me to be on your platform, just to speak about the Teach Me to Top movement. This was amazing. I was nervous, I'm not gonna lie, but we made it do what it do, like we said we were gonna do, and we did what we did. So that's what it was, bars. But anyways. But yeah, I like to thank you, and then of course, I like to thank the Teach Me to Top movement team, all of you guys. Jelly, Britt, Miss Big Mama, Rizzy, Lee, Delisha, my sister, India, Ma, and I like, of course, thank my queen. People think that when it comes to her, like I just say things just to be saying it. Nah, I love my wife, Crystal. Like, that's my best friend, and to have her as my helpmeet has just been amazing. And I need her in this aspect, and I love her to death. So I want to shout her out too. And then just everybody, all of the youth that's pushing me to be a better Brandon each and every day, because I understand they're looking up to myself. and
Mhm.
also everyone within the community. And it's our job to actually give them something to look forward to. So I appreciate all of y'all as well. So, but if you guys ever need anything, please don't hesitate. Like we said before, I'm very transparent. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. And like the rest said, if you want to donate anything, just
Yes.
let's partner. Let's partner.
All right. Well, y'all heard what he said. Make sure if you watching a replay, let us know. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time on your lunch break. I know some people got 30 minutes, so y'all come in and out, but make sure you come back and watch the replay. We will talk to you guys later. Remember, you choose how your day will be, so choose to make it phenomenal. Have a phenomenal day.
All right, y'all be out now. Y'all be easy.